right, Coach. Well, a split on the weekend. Let's start with the first game. What did you like from your team that you saw there, kind of throughout those 4 quarters?
Yeah, I thought we had a really good defensive effort in that game, actually in both games during the weekend. I thought they showed up ready and they followed our game plan well, especially from the last time we played Davenport. I thought that they showed up ready and did everything that I asked them to do, which had kind of been the goal going into this weekend because we'd struggled a little bit on being ready from the start. And then we started out a little slow on offense. Davenport kind of had a really good game plan for us. They did some things that were a little odd. They had a random field player play goalie in the first half, and that just kind of shook us, even though it shouldn't have. And sometimes when you're thinking about who the goalie is too much on offense, you shoot at them. And I think we fell into some of that and just got out of our normal rhythm just because we were a little thrown off by what was going on. But overall, like, credit to Davenport. That was effective and frazzled us. So, but overall, really good to win there and get that sweep over Davenport in conference. I think that's going to be important just as we look at the tournament ahead. And Davenport played a really close game with Concordia on Sunday and was able to come out with a win over them. So it's going to be interesting this coming week just to see who we're playing in the first round out of that. Yeah.
And then, Coach, you moved to the next one, taking on Grand Valley State. Close one, but I mean, you said it before, Grand Valley State, they're a very good team. When you look towards the tournament, you've beaten Davenport, you've beaten Concordia St. Paul, you've got them coming up. What do you look at, if you meet Grand Valley State again?
Yeah, so Grand Valley, they've done such a good job this year with their defense and with the zone that they're running. They haven't allowed double digits in a game yet this year, and since they started running that zone, they haven't allowed more than, I think, 7 goals in a game, which is unheard of in lacrosse because people score. That's kind of the reality. And I think this was like the perfect storm for our offense to not score at all. We couldn't move the ball effectively, and we'd kind of seen a slow game in Davenport, and we're a team that needs to see the ball go in to keep having the ball go in. And when you're held on the outside, like so far from the goal because of the way their defense is, and if you don't move enough within that, it's really hard to get looks. And we need to get looks to be able to get confidence. And I think it just really stagnated our offense to not be able to get moving in the way that we're comfortable with. Our 2 seniors were able to score, which was good. But if we're going to have success against Grand Valley, obviously we need a little bit more from all of our attackers. We just need more flow. We need them to feel more connected because it felt like every time the ball went down on offense, we were just a little disconnected and a little panicky just because of that zone. But I mean, credit to Grand Valley. Like, that is a really impressive feat to not have allowed double-digit goals for the entire season, and they've played a pretty strong schedule, and they're still number 7 or 8 in the country, so credit to that. But I do think our defense, at the end, we let up a little bit. We got tired. We got a little sloppy. If we're going to play Grand Valley, the reality is we're probably going to allow around 10 goals, and around 10 goals is kind of what you need to do to be able to beat that team, and then you just need to be able to follow up on the other side of the ball. So we performed a lot better on the defensive side of things, even if the margin is actually exactly the same as the last time we played them. But if we can put those 2 things together, this third time we play them, I think that's our shot of keeping the game close. So frustrating, but also I think there's positives, and I think that obviously the third time you play someone, you get to try a new thing. So we've gotten to try 2 new things. So maybe the third new thing will be the thing.
And then when we look one last game on the regular season schedule, closing out with Concordia St. Paul, conference opponent. Like you said, they just played kind of a close game with Davenport. What do you guys have to do going to their place to kind of close out the regular season on a win?
Yeah, so it's always fun to go to Concordia St. Paul. I'd say like 85 to 90% of our team is from Minnesota, so we get a huge crowd whenever we go to Concordia, and it's everybody's opportunity to play in front of their family. For those that don't have family that can come out on to our away games or for our home games, this is like the one game a year that everybody can watch and people's friends can watch. So that adds some pressure, and I do think that can definitely be a struggle, especially for our freshmen. And we play consistently around 8 freshmen, so just how they're going to be able to handle that crowd environment that they haven't had to see before is going to be fun. But also Concordia St. Paul they're a really good match for us because they're they're very intense and aggressive in a way that is kind of fun to play against. And I think that it creates good challenges for us on both sides of the ball. They play in a way on defense that makes you have to think past that first drive just because they slide so early. And on offense, they play in a kind of a different way than we do because they have so many left-handed people, is that it requires more thought. And I think that in the past we played really well against them because it is such a big rivalry, because they've known all these kids their whole lives. And I think it'll continue to be that. We just need to show up ready and perform and not expect it to go the way that the home game did. Just because we won by 9 last time, we still did allow 12 goals in that game, and we shot 53 times and only had 21 go in. So the reality is we need to be a little more accurate, and we need to be a little more disciplined on defense against that team, because they are a team that speeds you up and makes you a little more chaotic, and we need to not fall into that chaos.